Hello and welcome back to my Forsen run in Path of Exile 2, where the idea is that I do not save, I do not pause the game, I fight everything in every zone, and I get to go back to town once per area after finishing the area, go and sell stuff and maybe buy things. So there's a pretty limiting set of restrictions for the base run here, outside of this being, of course, a hardcore solo self-found. So currently this is my second attempt at playing a witch, and I have currently I had to, of course, log off and do other things, but now I'm going to head into the Cemetery of the Eternals. Actually, not the Cemetery of the Eternals, of course, but directly into the Mausoleum of the Praetor and continue from there. I can only do each area once. I cannot reset the areas. I cannot pause the game. I cannot head into town. None of that stuff. If I do so accidentally, of course, I'm not going to going to break my run. But the idea is that that's the idea of the run, and I hope for that to give me a couple of nice, decent challenges along the way. I lost my first character in. I lost that one in the hunt area. I forget what the name is. It's not here, but the area, of course, with a lot of monsters. Lost the first witch there, so I'm kind of, with that in mind, I'm going to head into the area. I don't have a lot of money, of course. I only have the money that I have from scratch, which is 0. And I don't carry that over. If I die, I make sure to not spend money that I don't have. So I'm going to head into, let's see. Oh, it seems a little bit like. Oh, we didn't do any of the. I did not do any of the of the two. So I get to pick. Do I want to head into Asinia, or do I want to head to Draven? I think I want to do Asinia first, because I find that the Praetor is more difficult. So I'm going to head into Tomb of the Consort. That's going to allow me to postpone fighting the Praetor along with Asinia just for a tiny bit. And I do want to avoid that as long as possible. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm playing a witch, but I actually got like a +2 to level to all spell skills in last time, so that's going to help me quite a bit. And I don't care that much about what type of spells I'm using currently. I do have a plan for the late game, but currently I don't care that much. And so what I discovered last time is that there's a huge advantage to using the spell gem. I just need to survive this, but I want to quickly talk about my gem setup in a moment here. Having a bunch of different elemental skills is definitely not bad either. The Zenith support gem basically makes sure weapon ability are godlike ability. So 30% more damage, which is also always going to be the case because it's free to cast. Of course, you can pop in whatever you want as a secondary, but it basically makes it so that even if it wasn't for my bone cage, which I'm very much in love with, using the lightning bolt alone is going to be almost like having a very strong AoE spell, and also dealing crazy amounts of damage, of course, because of the spell levels from the staff. I'm going to just grab the first. No, I'm not going to take those nodes because the first energy shield nodes are great because they give you like a set amount that's fixed. That's going to be a lot of extra energy shield, but the percentages currently is going to that's going to be ridiculously low. So at this point, I need to make a decision. That was where I was at. So physical damage is not going to make any sense because the physical damage is not strong enough yet, and I do have 2 divers of a pallet to do that. Chaos damage, nope. So I am actually going to go for the cast speed. That's going to have them provide the most value, I think. Did I just tumble? I just tumbled. That was stupid. Oh, that wasn't even the strong box. Oh well. It is a bit of a careful run playing on hardcore SSF because I mean, you can play very aggressively, but this currently at this specific type of run, I know that that's going to not be very good. Chaos Barrage is very nasty. This is not as bad. Let's see. There we go. Yes, please. Thank you very much. And the other one. And I just sell everything. I sell everything for money because chances of getting something through crafting with regal orbs and exalted orbs, I think is going to be very meager in the beginning. So by selling everything and just putting all my eggs in the let's see what the vendor has basket, I think it's going to be a lot better for me. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And these guys are just okay. It has volatile plants. That's a bad thing. So like the volatile plants, obviously, that's bad. But otherwise, just getting into the fray and just being next to the knight is going to basically neglect or remove all of its abilities. It's going to be trying to hitting you. It's not able to hit you. You can tumble around, and the shield is always going to be lowered. So it basically removes the entire mechanic. A lot of ranged characters can actually, in most fights, in my experience, benefit greatly from being in close combat with every monster that you can get into close combat with. If you can kind of stand being in the face of things, that's going to be very, very good for you, and practically always better than being on range. Of course, with some exceptions, but generally most of the boss mechanics favor melee, obviously because of the dangers of being close combat. You need some kind of saving grace, and the game provides you with that. Most of the problems with being a melee is connected to the problem with the shadow damage, the pools on the ground, all that jazz, which sucks. So you just don't want to be close combat always with every type of trash mobs you can find. The Preator ability, when he's supporting this boss, the Praetor ability is just not all that. But her ability is much worse because she's let's see. She's throwing those rings that you need to move out of. So suddenly, that's a bunch of stuff that you need to look out for. I'm going to take my trip into town, completed an area, and just sell things and look at the vendor. So we do need to identify things. That's also pretty good. Doesn't take a lot in the early game with these characters. And I actually did forget exactly how much gold. I think I had like around 300 gold. Oh wait, now I'm already disenchanting, which is not what I wanted to do. Sell. I do need to look out for that scepter. Were there any? What I'm also looking out for is, does anything have is it superior? Does it have sockets? Because if that's the case, I'm going to keep it until the time I get to the town. Oh yeah, I can afford the bigger flasks. That's going to be worth it immediately. There we go. That's worth it immediately. Okay, is there anything I want to buy? Probably not, right? This is the old character, and this is what I have from now. This doesn't matter. That was the conclusion. Like the gems here, they don't really matter. Like so I don't care about that. The support gems I do care about a little bit. Probably just adding that. There we go, and then adding in here. There we go. And that's pretty much it. The question is, and since this is not a speed run, I don't care that much about doing things that timely. I do take my time getting a little bit into it, because losing a character does, take time. Takes time to get the level back and stuff, so I do take that easy. Did I? Maybe I should be a little bit more conservative on my orbs, because there are a couple of things I could have slammed just a little bit more. So I'm going to be slightly more conservative. I do have an iron rune that I could socket into this one if I get the chance, which I will. This is going to be with me for many levels, not because of the lightning bolt, but because of the spell levels and the extra damage as lightning. That's going to carry very hard. Yeah, so that's what I do. I put in things. Oh wait, that was okay. Cold. Just trying to understand what my thought process was here. I'm not going to put that one in. I don't care. I don't care. Let's do the next thing. So I'm going to head into the tomb of the Praetor. And so now, actually, I mean, I am not that afraid of the Lachlann, of the boss outside of the tombs here, because I do have my lightning bolt skill, and that's going to carry me. But I can die from anything practically with very low survivability. Oh! And I did forget to actually go into the well there. So I do need to play a little bit carefully, since that's a mistake on my part. Lesser Iron Rune, not bad. That is pretty much GOAT. Going to grab the voltaic staffs. You never quite know what you get with those ones. Like suddenly you're getting a high rank plus the skills, or well, just keep those bases. Like in this game, at least the bases now are very good. And I'm just taking a trip right around the edge of this because I want to go and grab the secret area, which is here, because you never know. You never know. The rare items are going to be more valuable. as vendor trash. And it's just like gold in the beginning. I mean, there are some things you want to buy. You want to get upgraded, your flasks upgraded. That's completely necessary. If you don't upgrade your flasks, that's going to be very, very bad for you. So there's that. That does cost a little bit of money. If there is an item that is going to be the right item, an item that has just rolled perfectly, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, you need to have enough money to get it. It's really that simple. Like, gold in the beginning of the game is absolutely the best currency that you can get. It's much better than salted orbs or anything else that you can find. Gold is going to be superior to any type of currency as long as you can access the vendors. Oh, that was... Okay, I went in. I can just go and do the rest afterwards. Some of his attacks do actually hurt. I mean, coming in, I've died on a number of occasions in this fight, and you can underestimate the ability that his consort does all day long, but my experience is that it's nothing to be trifled with. If you play multiplayer even, it's going to be a lot worse, because it's going to spawn on other characters. They're going to run for you, and you're going to be hit by their stuff. Basically, it's awful. Let's see, life resistances. Bit of life resistances. It's not a huge upgrade. Armor, evasion. No. 56 evasion. I'm actually going to do this because I think getting that extra energy shield needs to be built up. So even if that's kind of already an item that I worked on, it's going to make sense. Okay, let's just sell the rest. A couple of good items in between. 12 energy shield, 19 energy shield, cold resistance, but armor to boot. Yeah, armor to boot. Yeah, nothing wrong with armor. Let's quickly check the vendor stock. There is the new mana flasks. Question is, yeah, we do want to do that, even if, yeah, we do want to do that. Nah, it's too difficult to find upgrades like that. It's I mean, it could for the I think for the witch or for the sorcerer, for any of the two caster type mobs. I mean, you could get like an armor that would greatly improve your life. Obviously, that's possible, but you know, the key, the key is finding staves, wands, and offhands. I'm not sure spending too much time on getting the right armor. Just look at what the overall output is. I could upgrade my gloves. Obviously, those are very, very bad for me. So that would make sense. So obviously, like, this is a major advantage because, oh, that was bad. Oh yeah, it did go through all of the stuff, but outside of that, you can kind of dodge most of what he has to offer. I'm really happy I didn't die just there. That would have been an awful mess. So I don't know. I think this actually, yeah, the boss. That was it. The boss fights, and the like the type of boss fights that's not like a rare mob. A boss fight and the end of an area is grounds for heading up. I think that was the thing I allowed myself last time, going back up after this boss, because now there's too much loot. That's the major problem. So I do want to keep that in balance. Keep that balanced. I did actually invest in that. There we go. Yeah, we're just keeping that tab down here. There you go. It's funny though that runes and shit. Or maybe just currency. Alright. Hello, sir. Selling items. And now, yeah. I gotta say though, I mean, I could really do with another ring, to be fair. Okay, I'm heading into the hunting grounds. This is where I lost my last character. So my general strategy with this area is, yeah, I do need to go and actually do this quest, I think. Otherwise it would be simply just, you know, take the not the scenic route, but this is already a bit dangerous. I don't like too much heading into the middle here. I'm going to take it very easy this time around. This spell is just... This area is just screaming for the bone prison spell. The bone cage. This is the exact thing I wanted to avoid. Simply because I already had the experience that I was just instantaneously slammed for 300 damage last run. We are going to be fighting a rare mob with extra abilities at the moment. My major problem, it has invulnerability. See that? Oh, there we go. Not worth it, for sure. I'm not going to pop this just yet. I'm just going to run around in the edge of this zone, because all of the bosses and the interesting stuff is on the edges. So by doing that, I can kind of, and that's at least my normal mentality. So, but that way I don't get too many monsters at a time, and I can kind of increment how much I want to push myself this way. And also, there we go. Some of the stuff is not that bad, actually. go. Level 11. Level 11, that's actually pretty decent, I think. Getting to level... Can I go in here? Is this... Oh yeah, that was a path. This is a very odd tile set. I've never seen anything like this. And so the idea is that at this point I can choose to go into various zones. So I mean I could say that heading into the shadow zone is something that I could postpone. However, I do think that taking things in the level appropriate order to the highest possible degree is going to be the right thing. I do want to clear an entire area before fighting a boss, for instance. That's a given. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's the Mont boss. Okay, heading into it. I mean, that's not an uninteresting prospect. That could be fun, but that's not the idea right here. Right now, the idea is something else. So probably doing Freythorn after this is what I'm going to do. Even if I do not like it one tiny bit, I'm pretty much very much afraid of Freythorn. But it's actually, to me, it's a little bit interesting. I know it's of course it's based on your class. What are your weaknesses? What is your class weaknesses? But secondly, it's what kind of things have you died to in the past playing on hardcore, because one of the things that I've died to, at least, is the chaos damage in Freythorn. And so the chaos damage is in my opinion pretty gross. Yeah, and outside of the seasonal mechanic, which is focused on chaos damage, the Freythorn is probably one of the first times where you are really, being faced with the absolute ridiculousness of chaos damage. Make no mistake, this phase, second phase of the Crowbell fight, is no joke. The third phase is much easier. On the support gem side of things, question is, I practically don't remember anything when it comes to oh yeah, the bone cage, obviously. Am I going to spell cascaded? I don't know that I am. It is going to reduce the damage. I don't think I'm going to cascade it. I think I'm actually going to wait just a tiny bit and maybe contemplate the support gem setups a little bit later. I don't need to do that right now. Offense is not the issue here for sure. Defense might very well be. Okay, So now we're going to eat away at the center of this. And let's go and activate the ritual. And I do need to do everything. I mean, I cannot skip this type of event just because I'm not very happy about it. Not that this is bad either, but that's the level 4 skill gem. And that's going to go straight into Bone Cage. Yes. Okay. The damage of the lightning bolt is it's broken. With the staff, a level 2 spell level staff, it's just, look at this. And it's all I've got. Okay. Looks a bit like there's a rift in here. Oh, I do have points. I have points. I'm going to pop those into energy shield at this point. And then I'm going to go for the crit chance and the crit damage up there. But getting that extra 30% for 1 point is insane. So that does mean I'm going to tap more into energy shield the second that I get appropriate gear and chance for it, because it is going to be better. Practically, in the beginning of the game, having energy shield is only good in my opinion. In my opinion, that doesn't mean that it's the right thing, but in my opinion, energy shield does require having a gear for it. So, you know, the right gear pieces and whatnot, because otherwise, having a well-rolled armor piece, a well-rolled leather piece, whatever, with movement speed, with resistances, with additional life, all that jazz, is going to be better than having a weak energy shield item, in my opinion. I'm just going to save all of the Exalted Orbs, all of that stuff that I'm getting currently. I'm going to save that for Giorno, for the final boss of Act 1. And the reason I'm doing that is because not only is Giorno like a bit of a nasty fight, but outside of that, you actually do need to prepare for the first boss of the second act anyway. So if you're not going to get a gear upgrades instantaneously in Act 2 anyway. So by just preparing at the end of Act 1 for the final boss, I think that's going to be necessary to carry me deep into Act 2. I think that's definitely the best usage of my stuff. So I'm level 12 and I'm heading into Freythorn in a moment. Oh yeah, I'm going to go into Oakham Farmlands and grab the waypoint there, because I do need, maybe I do need to port across the port, across the hunting ground zone, and I don't want to go around and look for the entrance again, because now I'm officially finished with the hunting grounds. So I do think grabbing the waypoints in the other zones as you find them is probably going to be a good idea, in terms of that alone. Otherwise it's just going to be a hassle and not a fun and challenging thing, but just annoying and stupid. Okay, let's see. Oh, that was actually an improvement. There we go. Sell, life, strength. I think I'm actually going to equip this because there is a basis for some of the strength gems here that I want. This ability is going to add damage, but it's going to, I think, remove the lightning damage added from the staff. So using brutality, I think, is not going to add to the damage, but I think that the bleed ability might. Maybe it's a bit ridiculous. Let's just see here. Prolonged duration. Yeah. And then again, I'm actually not quite sure that I need anything here from this. It's a real issue. I don't think I want anything. I'm just going to keep the belt though. It sounds like a little bit weird min-maxing on my part here, but yeah. Alright, so that's, and of course I do need to check the vendors. I do need to check them. And I should primarily check the energy shield based stuff. 65 energy shield, 11 intelligence. That's a very, very good base. It's a very good base life. Yeah, that's going to be an upgrade right here. It's going to be an upgrade. That is going to be an upgrade, I think. And so I could, in principle, I'm going to wait with the rest in. And I'm not going to bother with shoes. Yeah, I think that's going to be an upgrade, even if there is no resistances on it. Okay, and then the other thing was rings. And at this point I'm getting kind of desperate. And I'm going to buy this because I'm going to get a frost one later on, which I need for the final boss. Yeah, going to head into Freythorn here. Obviously, energy shield. Energy shield is weak against chaos-based monsters, but like I also still need to stand in shit. So. Okay, that's I'm just clearing just a tiny bit. A couple of things to look out for: the chaos damage explosions, and oh, all of them bundled together. That's kind of rare. Okay. And this is the type of scenario where, famous last words, I find stuff like the bone cage to be eminent, or what is it called, like fantastic, because things spawn close to you and they instantaneously die once you attack them with your spell. And what that in reality means is that you're actually kind of being, you're getting your defenses from your offense, which in this game is one way to solve it. Like you can either have a very strong defense and be kind of invulnerable, or you can have a very strong offense and kill things before they're able to kill you. One of the two. And obviously killing things very quickly also reduces the amount of mechanics that you need to deal with. That was it. Now I'm done with prepping for the boss, but I do want to clear the entire area anyway. So there's that. But not having to look for that is always nice. It's stuff like this, like I have no idea what's on the ground, I have no idea what's going on. It's just like shit everywhere. And I find myself in situations where I end up clearing. I keep on clearing because I don't want to, I want to have like my back free, so to speak. Having monsters that can kind of, get in your grid from behind is something that I grossly hate. Let's go. Probably I am going to grab a bit of those belts, I think, because there might be a reason for me to actually go and improve some of those. Let's get the level up. Yeah, we're just going to go for the crit damage here. I mean, I could go up and get more energy shield, but I don't need to necessarily right now. Having more offense right now is, I think, is going to be the stronger choice in this moment. And having the defense, there we go, that's where the boss is. So we don't need to go and activate him yet. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. I have the waypoint. Or the checkpoint rather. I do consider every zone in the early game until like I have a decent amount of defensive layers to be dangerous. This is probably the most dangerous zone, I think, for me at this point. The remaining zones, like, there are none of them that I fear. Even the Executioner I'm not afraid of. Famous last words. I mean, he has killed me a couple of times, but in the past. But it's like, if you have enough damage, like the less damage you have, the more dangerous everything is going to become. Because now suddenly you have to plan your game around being vulnerable, having to dodge, so you have to kind of factor in some of the fights a little bit like you would in like a MMO RPG raid type fight where it has phases and you need to do this and that and blah blah blah. But if you have enough damage, you can basically bypass most of that, and that is probably going to be my game plan, because I have the option to, obviously. I mean, if you don't have the option to, and you have to really plan for very long fights and stuff, like the Jono fight I think is going to be slightly longer, and that fight of course doesn't worry me like so, but it's kind of, you know, it's not necessarily going to be easy peasy. Wait, so that's it. So this is when I would respawn at checkpoint, because that's directly next to the boss. But hey, it's a short run. Let's go. That would have been the shortest Freythorn ever. Alright. So I do need to consider if I want to give the problem is right now with my staff. That's going to be, I think, the major problem for me is going to be my staff. Because upgrading a staff in this game is no joke. Like if you have a staff with plus all skills, spell damage, like very versatile, trying to upgrade that is going to prove difficult. But the damage, right? Look at the damage here. And the worst thing apart about this is the fact that this is it's a zero mana effort. Oh, and there we go. So, like I said, this zone is the most dangerous zone that you can go to in the early game. And it's just, it is what it is. I mean, this was a timing issue. I was stunned. He had an attack that went for me. It deals chaos damage. Part of my survivability is energy shield, and so there's that situation where, you know, even that would have been like a timing thing for me. So I would have had to kind of think, okay, well, he does that stun at some point, and I don't want that stun to happen during his transition. I didn't think about that. I was just like nuking him, and so if I hadn't been stunned at that point, I could have dodged out, and I would have survived. Anyway, that is attempt number 2 at the Forsen run.